there. Would you like to use the mic?
Yeah. I've got 3 questions, please.
Thank you.
The latest government review of biogenic methane targets declared reductions are necessary of between 14 to 24% by 2050. These targets have been touted as science-based. Could you please give us a scientific-based opinion on whether or not you agree with this statement?
Well, I hope I made it clear that I think the statement's absurd because, as I said, if you kill every cow, you only get 0.07 degrees of cooling, you know, so if you really look at what they're proposing to do, it's much less than killing every cow. So you're probably talking about sort of milli-degrees. You can't measure that, you know, that. So it's all pain and no gain, you know. All right.
Yeah, great answer, thank you. Next question. Our very own Levy Group has been patting themselves on the back for advocating a split gas approach to ruminant methane accounting. They state, quote, "The science is clear. Emissions of long-lived gases must reach net zero to prevent further warming. In contrast, emissions of short-lived gases like biogenic methane only need to decline gradually to have the same effect. This fundamental difference needs to be recognised in climate policy, and adopting a split gas approach is the most effective way to do so," unquote. Again, could you please give us a scientific-based opinion on whether or not you agree with this statement?
Well, okay, thank you. You did raise some interesting scientific points, and that is that methane is burned up naturally in the atmosphere in about 12 years. The atmosphere is full of hydroxyl radicals, and so it doesn't last very long once you put it there. In contrast, CO2, it's a little controversial how long it lasts because there are complicated interchanges with the oceans. But it's much longer than methane at any rate. And so the point of this dual gas idea is that you should give methane a break because it doesn't last very long. And so it should be treated with more gentleness than CO2. And if there were any danger for either two, you know, that would make some sense, but neither one of them is a danger. And as I pointed out, CO2 is actually a net benefit. It's quite clear that it's a benefit to the world. So again, I would not support that. It doesn't make much sense.
Great answer, thank you.
Okay.
And one last one. Many politicians and ag representatives have admitted off the record that they are aware that climate change policies are not science-based and are entirely politically driven. However, they still state that New Zealand has to be seen to playing its part, playing its part. What comments do you have on this approach, and how might we get these politicians to do the right thing by honouring true scientific principles and the right thing by their conscience?
Well, I don't know. I think what you're saying is that your leadership says that, you know, your main customers will be so angry at you if you don't participate in the Paris Accords and net zero that they won't buy New Zealand butter or New Zealand toys or goodness knows what, you know, to retaliate. I don't think there's a slightest chance that that could happen because certainly it won't happen with the United States. You know, we don't care. And it won't happen with China. It won't happen with India. So who's left, you know? And by that time, Germany will be bankrupt and they can't afford it anyway. So I wouldn't worry too much about that.
Thank you.